Hi there, this is Margaret and welcome to my Grammar Buzz YouTube channel, Learning Made Easy. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate the fact that you are there with me today and you will be there till the end of this video. Well, today in this video, we are about to discuss present perfect tense. In my previous videos, we have already discussed about simple present and present continuous tense. We already know that tense is related to time. Present tense is used to show that an action takes place now. But today, it is time for us to learn about something new. That is present perfect tense. The present perfect tense is really a very interesting tense and a very useful one. But before we move on to the main part of the lesson, you know what? Let us quickly look into the lesson objectives for the day. And the lesson objectives today aim at helping us to know what is present perfect tense, know how to form them, and also know when to use them. So, moving on with my favorite question, that is, what is present perfect tense? And that's my favorite question, you know that, right? What is present perfect tense? Well, to put it simply, present perfect tense refers to an action or state that either occurred at an indefinite time in the past or began in the past and continued to the present time. The present perfect is most frequently used to talk about experiences or changes that have taken place. The present perfect tense is a rather important tense in English. In this lesson, we shall look at the structure and the use of present perfect tense. So remember, the present perfect tense refers to an action or state that either occurred at an indefinite time in the past or began in the past and continued to the present time. Now that we already know what is present perfect tense, the next question that pops up is, how do we construct a sentence in the present perfect tense? It's an important question though, you see. The construction of this verb tense is straightforward. There are only two elements that you need to use, and they are: the first element is the use of the auxiliary or the helping verb have or has, depending on the subject of the sentence, that is either singular or plural subject or pronouns. And the second element is the past participle form of the verb, which is usually formed by adding ed or d to the verb roots. Example, walked, cleaned, or the irregular verbs. However, English does not have quite a few verbs that have irregular past participle. Example, do, done, say, said, eat, eaten. Well, remember, the present perfect is formed by adding have, has plus the past participle form of the base verb. Well, isn't that quite simple to remember? Now, you might be wondering that we are discussing present perfect tense. But why do we still use the past participle form of the verb? Yes, that's true. Although it is present perfect tense, we still have to use the past participle form of the base verb. Now let us find out what is the difference between past tense and present perfect tense. And hey, what do we have here? Well, it's a picture of a pudding, and our first sentence says, the children ate the whole pudding yesterday. The children ate the whole pudding yesterday. We already know that this sentence is in the simple past tense. This sentence can also be written as, the children ate the whole pudding. This sentence is also in the past tense. But what about this sentence? It says, the children have eaten the whole pudding. The children have eaten the whole pudding. In this sentence, the children have eaten the whole pudding. It is definitely not the past tense, but it is the present perfect tense. Are you confused? Well, there is no need for that. Let us find out, how are these sentences different? When we say the children ate the whole pudding yesterday or the children ate the whole pudding, The time of the action is specified and it is important. In this sentence, it is specific, that is, yesterday. Even though in the sentence the children ate the whole pudding, the time is not mentioned, but it is implied that the children ate the pudding at a particular time. So the two sentences are in the simple past tense. But in the sentence, the children have eaten the whole pudding, the time of the action is not specified and it is immaterial. It is not mentioned. So the time when the action have eaten has happened is not important. So the sentence here is in the present perfect tense. Remember, in the simple past tense, the time of the action is important and it is specified. Whereas in the present perfect tense, the time of the action is not important and it is not specified. Remember, in simple past tense, the action done in the past time has no effect in the present. But in the present perfect tense, the action done in the past has an effect in the present and it is important. Well, something important for you to remember, and that is present perfect tense can't be used when a specific time is mentioned, right? So let us take a look at the following example sentence, and it says, I have cleaned all the laundry this morning. I have cleaned all the laundry this morning. Well, do you think this sentence is correct? Certainly not. And why so? Remember, I told you can't use present perfect when you are being specific about time or when you are being specific about when an action has happened. So, when you are specifying a particular time, you cannot use the present perfect tense. And in this sentence, the word this morning tells us about a specific time. So we cannot use the present perfect in this sense. Hence, the sentence is incorrect. The sentence would have been correct if written as, I have cleaned all the laundry, omitting the words this morning. So remember, in present perfect tense, we never refer to time because the time is not important. It is the action that is important. Simple so far? Well. Now it's time for us to know when can we use present perfect tense. Well, we can use the present perfect to say that an action happened at an unspecified time before now. The exact time is not important. We cannot use the present perfect with specific time expressions such as yesterday, 1 year ago, last week, when I was a child, when I lived in America, at that moment, that day, one day, etc. However, we can use the present perfect with unspecific time expressions such as ever, never, once, many times, several times, before, so far, already, yet, etc. So remember, never use present perfect tense with specific time expressions. Present perfect tense shows that something occurred at an unspecified time in the past. Okay, let's take into account this picture and our example sentence is, I think I have met him before. I think I have met him before. Well, the verb in this sentence is have met. Met is the past participle form of the base verb meet, and we have also used have together with met. We used to have since the subject of the sentence is singular first person pronoun I. In this sentence, I think I have met him before. The specific time is not mentioned. The time of the action is immaterial and not important. So the time when this action have met is not important. So remember, in present perfect tense, the time of the action is unimportant. It is the action which matters. Remember, we cannot use the present perfect with specific time expressions. Well. The concept of unspecific time can be very confusing to English learners. it is best to associate present perfect with the following topics. You can use the present perfect to describe your experience. It's like saying, I have the experience of, or I never had the experience of. The present perfect is not used to describe a specific event. Remember that. Present perfect is not used to describe a specific event. Okay, let's take into account this picture of the museum, and our example sentence is, I have been to the museum. I have been to the museum. Well, the verb in this sentence is have been. Been is the past participle form of the base verb be. We used to have since the subject of the sentence is singular first person pronoun I. In this sentence, I have been to the museum. The specific time is not mentioned. The time of the action is immaterial and unimportant. This sentence means that I have had the experience of being in a museum. Maybe I have been there once or several times. It is like saying I have the experience of being to a museum. Remember, we often use the present perfect to talk about experience from the past. We are not interested in when I did something or when you did something. We only want to know if you did it. Well, here comes our next use of the present perfect tense. And we often use the present perfect to talk about a continuing situation, to talk about changes that has happened over a period of time or new information. A state that started in the past and continues in the present and will probably continue into the future. This is a situation. Remember that this is a situation, not an action. We usually use for or since with this structure. Let us begin with the use of since. Since is usually used with the perfect tense only. Remember that? Since is usually used with the perfect tense only. And our example sentence is, my English has improved since I moved to Australia. My English has improved since I moved to Australia. Well, the verb in this sentence is has improved. Improved is the past participle form of the base verb improve. In this sentence, my English has improved since I moved to Australia. Note, we have used since in this sentence to express a situation or a change that started in the past and continues in the present. It does not tell us about any specific time. Remember, time is not important. It is the action that matters. This sentence means that a change has happened over a period of time. Well, what about this sentence? It says, he has been ill for 2 days. He has been ill for 2 days. This sentence expresses a situation that started in the past and still continues in the present. Note, for is used with this tense. Well, the verb in this tense is has been, and we have also used for. Remember, such sentences express a situation, not an action, and we use for or since with this structure. Well, now that we know when to use the present perfect tense in different situations, it's time for us to know how to make negative sentence in the present perfect tense. And how to form negative sentence? How do we form it? Well, for negative sentence in the present perfect, we simply insert a not between have or has plus the past participle form. Remember that? Have has plus not plus the past participle form of the verb. Okay, let's take into account this picture as our example sentence. And our sentence is, you have not seen that movie many times. You have not seen that movie many times. Note, in order to make this sentence a negative form of present perfect, we have used a not between have and the past participle seen of the base verb see. So remember, To form negative sentence, we use have or has plus not plus the past participle form of the verb. Well, now that we already know how to form negative sentences, it's time for us to know how to ask questions in the present perfect tense. How do we ask a question? Well, to ask a question in the present perfect, the formula is have or has plus the subject plus the past participle form of the verb, and don't forget to close the sentence with a question mark. And let us take the same example that we have already done earlier, but this time we will be changing it into a question sentence in the present perfect tense. And our sentence is, have you seen that movie many times? Have you seen that movie many times? So, as we already know, to ask questions in present perfect tense, we have to use has or have plus the subject plus the past participle form of the base verb. And in this sentence, we have used have plus the subject, that is you, plus the past participle form of the verb see, that is seen. And we have closed the sentence with a question mark. Right? So it's that simple. So now I think it's time for us to remember. Yes, and what do we need to remember? Well, all we need to remember is the present perfect tense refers to an action that occurred at an indefinite time in the past and continued to the present time. The time is not important. In this form of tense, it is the action or the situation that is important, and we form the present perfect tense by using the auxiliary verb have or has plus the past participle form of the base verb. Okay, and it's our practice time. So this is how it works. I will be showing you a sentence and you will have to complete it with the correct form of the present perfect tense. Simple, right? So here we go. And this is your first sentence. And it says, we are holiday yet. And your choice of verbs are not and plan. So, how are you going to form this? Have you done it all right? I think you have. You are quite smart. I know that by now. And you are right. It is, we have not planned our holiday yet. We have not planned our holiday yet. Good job. And here comes the next sentence for you. It says, where? That's quite short, I see. Where? And your verb choices are be, you. Be, you. So what do you think about this one? What should it be? How are you going to form the present perfect out of this? Note the question mark. That can be a hint for you. I think you have got it all right. Good job. Where have you been? Excellent. Where have you been? And here comes the next one for you. It says he, 5 letters. He, 5 letters. And your verb choice is write. Yes. So how are you going to form the present perfect with the help of this verb? Have you got it all right? Have you? I think you have. Good job. And it is, he has written 5 letters. He has written 5 letters. That was an excellent job. And here comes the last one for you. And it says, we, a new lamp. We, a new lamp. And your verb is buy. Your verb is buy. So what do you think about this one? How are you to form the present perfect out of this? I think you have already nailed it. And you are so right. It is, we have bought a new lamp. We have bought a new lamp. Good job. Hey, that was a fantastic job that you did. Hope this video helped you understand what is present perfect tense and how we use and form them. If you have any questions at all, you know what to do? I think you know it. Just pop them in the comment box and I'll surely get back to you. Well, thanks for watching this video and being with me till the end of this video. And do not forget to like, comment, share, press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. This is Margaret signing off for today. Take care of yourself and bye everyone.